Oh no. This little gauge here is reading 0. That can't be good. We don't want anything set to 0.
Oh, yeah, you better go turn that up. That's what I would do.
I'm going to set that to kill, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's a good policy for everything.
Yeah, I think that's working.
Hey, Joe here. I've really been enjoying getting some work done on my race car here. It's been amazing, really making some progress. But today, I need to take a break from that because the old Talon needs a little bit of work. Just some basic maintenance. Oil cap gasket needs replaced, needs a new set of plugs. A couple other little things I need to look at. So let's take a look and see what's going on. Hey, Tony's here! What's up, bro?
Nothing. I was just coming out to see what you were doing.
Oh, cool. I'm doing some stuff. Here, I'm going to start by doing this.
Are we going to look at the oil spark plug valley and see how much oil and spark plugs are in there?
Yeah, I'm expecting there to be a bunch of oil down in there because my oil cap gasket's been leaking. So I'm going to replace that gasket while I have this off and changing spark plugs. What do we got there?
Oh yeah, there's your oil right there, and then your spark plug wires. And I guess underneath them is probably where spark plugs go.
Yeah, they're in there underneath these little caps. Yeah, there's definitely some oil in there.
Yeah, it shows up good on camera. It doesn't look as bad in real life.
Alright, so let's get these plug wires out of the way. I feel like I break one of these every time, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. So far, all 3 of them have broke. This one stayed together.
Ah, it heard you and kept its stuff together.
Alright, so we got a little cleanup to do. See, all this time I thought I might have a leak or maybe burning some oil, and the truth is I just have a bad oil cap gasket. That's the diagnosis I'm going with. Alright, so I can pop this cap off here. And then we can look that thing's just seeping oil through. It should look like that, but it's pretty wet. So we'll get that changed out in a minute here. While I got that off of there, let's take a look at this oil level. Yeah, looks like she can use a quarter quart or so. Got my trusty VR1 here. Pop a little bit of that in here.
Not a drop spilled.
Oh man, tell you what. Yesterday was the 4th of July. The thermometer in my car said 102 degrees. Doesn't feel that far off today. It's rough. Got a new OEM oil cap gasket here. Part number's there, MD311638. Alright, so now I just gotta take this gasket off and install this new one. This is an aftermarket cap, so this gasket actually looks slightly different than this one. Probably also the reason it didn't last very long. It's not good quality stuff. OEM stuff is good quality stuff. So now I just gotta take this off there and change it out. Tony, do you have an oil cap gasket removal tool?
This is gonna be hard one-handed.
Oh wait, I got an idea.
I am a tool though.
I'm using my Tony tool to remove this gasket.
Huh.
See? That's proof. You just have to have the right tool for the job. Alright, put some oil down in here too. Get that all cleaned out of there. Like to try to leave a little bit of red lint in here. I feel like my engine runs better with a small bit of oil rag in the engine.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I just feel like most people have that. Maybe some leftover silicone from something. Who the hell knows? But I don't know. I think I'm as much of a tool as Tony, so
Easily.
I'm gonna go ahead and install this myself. Let's see if I'm as much of a tool as Tony. Look at that.
Oh, maybe even more so.
Definitely. Always make sure your oil cap is in the correct orientation.
Yeah, you don't want to turn it into a 710 cap.
Exactly. This aftermarket oil cap has an open that you can turn into a Nepo. But if you have an oil cap, make sure it says oil and not 710.
Yeah, 710 cap isn't going to hold any oil in your engine.
Oh, I could feel that. It's harder to turn. Nice seal there. That's going to help keep stuff clean.
Might be hard to see, but there's little end pieces from Joe's spark plug wire and the pieces there. Not in this one. Only in 3, 2, and 4.
Alright, time to pop these plugs out. Alright, let's take a look, see how number 1 looks right now. I like to keep the plugs in order wherever I place them if I'm going to reuse them, but I'm just replacing these plugs. These plugs were gapped at the factory 24 thousandths. I always just say 24. I considered gapping the new plugs down a bit, but I'm not having any problem with spark blowout or any misfires or anything, so I'm going to go with 24 again. Now I'm running a BPR 7ES NGK plug. I know a lot of people go crazy with running non-projected and you know, even colder plugs than that. The BPR 6ES would be the factory plug. I just go 1 heat range colder on this setup because I'm running a good amount of boost, you know, modified engine, all that sort of thing, a little bit higher compression ratio than stock, and but with ethanol, I think too cold of a plug may cause more problems than help. Now look at this. This is a number 4 plug. Has a nice timing strap mount on it right there. Our timing strap mark. You can see that right there. That's right where it needs to be on that curve. Here's the plugs I'm using. Check this gap real quick. Yeah, it's pretty loose. I've seen some really cool spark plug gapping tools online lately. Little screw-in things with a little knob that presses the strap in and gets it just right. But I'm just gonna do what I always do. Got it.
And what torque spec will you be estimating these to be at today?
I'm going to estimate these to be right about there. Yes. Alright, now we can go back to putting these plug wires on. Got a couple ones that need a little repair done with these pieces that came off when I pulled them. This one looks like it's got some damage on it here, but it looks like I'll be able to get by with it.
With authentic dyno damage.
I have something too I came across when I was looking through some spare parts. I'm going to give it a shot, see if I can install it here.
Ooh.
You don't see these too often. And I'm thinking the reason is because thick aftermarket plug wires don't fit in this thing. Alright, the next thing we're going to get into over here is in the fuel system. I've been running E85 a little while now, and I've done a lot of different things to try to make sure I don't get the black goo. Dun dun dun. So, yeah, I treated my tank. I always run that stable 360. All my hoses are E85 compatible, so I put some effort in that. And I'm about to see if that pays off. I'm going to check this fuel filter out. That'll give me an indication if I have a black goo problem. And I'm going to change this sensor out. This is a cheap sensor I tried. It worked great for a few weeks, but then it finally failed. So I'm going to change this sensor out for a more reliable odometer unit. Alright, so I'm going to remove this so I can get it in my hands and take a good look at it. This is a fun game. What size is the outside size of this AN fitting? Alright, so this is what we're working with here. I'm going to unscrew this so I can check that filter element, and I'm going to change this sensor out for the odometer sensor. Alright, I got these aluminum vice jaws specifically for this purpose. They're magnetic, and sometimes I cut metal in here, so...
Well, they have magnets on them, right? It's not magnetic aluminum?
No, this isn't the magnetic aluminum. That's not a thing. I don't know. Maybe it is.
I mean, it is the future.
Hey, listen. If any of you watching this video right now have heard of magnetic aluminum, tell me about it. I'm interested. There we go. Okay, I'm going to replace the no-name brand pressure transducer with this, part number 2246, odometer pressure transducer. This is a 100 psi fuel pressure transducer with an 1/8 inch NPT fitting. Alright, I'm going to put a little Teflon tape on here. I never went to school for Teflon tape handling, so I'm no expert, but I like to start with a clean edge on my tape, and I like to wrap it in the direction where the flap that's left will be pushed back as you tighten this. So if you're doing this righty-tighty, then the flap has to go that way. So in order to have the flap go that way, you have to start with the end this way and wrap in this direction. Again, if anybody is in the wants to leave a message for me in the comments about whether or not that's right or wrong or even makes sense, let me know. That was like 1/4 Bucci strength, and I think that's the proper torque spec for this. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and clean out this filter element. Yep, looks like just some debris you can see in there. No goo collecting anywhere. I'm happy about that. Just going to get some brake cleaner. Spray it through here in the reverse direction of flow. I really should be using my AN wrenches here, but it's a real tight fit down in there. I can barely get this regular box end wrench in there. Fortunately, the plug on this odometer sensor is the same as on the no-name brand one, so that plugs right in there. I just need to secure that those fuel components to the firewall the way I had them with a tie wrap. Last time I went for a ride, I noticed a little bit of a rattle or a clunk or something up here in the front end. So I'm going to jack this up and take a quick look at it. What we do have is some cobwebs and some rust on these rotors because I haven't driven this thing in a while. But I don't feel anything weird going on there. Nothing there either, so I don't know. I may have to do another test drive and see if I can figure out where that noise was coming from. Well, I guess we're finished up here. Let's move on to the test drive.
I forget, you like it when I film like this, right? No AC.
Oh my God.
Florida in July.
I just need one more AC line. I had a damaged one, it was leaking.
At least the windows roll down, right?
Yes.
We'd be cooked alive.
Natural air conditioning for video. Seems good.
Yeah, I think that's working.
Can you make me something out of this? Thanks. Tony, are we still officially in Mexico?
I believe so. Last time I checked the GPS.
Alright, well I guess we got all the maintenance we needed to get done today. It all went pretty well. The test drive went pretty well. I think there's only one way to celebrate, Tony.
Yeah?
Yep. Brownie.
Mmm.
Put cheese on it.